Uh, if you're new to Havoc, this is a pure damage dealing melee fighter. It's got really great mobility, then stay targeted on whoever it is that you're looking to knock down quickly. They don't have a ton of utility. They've got a couple crowd control benefits around Imprison and Chaos Nova, but we'll dig into that in a little bit. To players who are new to the Havoc Demon Hunter, really quick, they've got fantastic mobility. They have some really powerful bursts, in particular Metamorphosis, and then if you are signed up for Demonic, that follows your I-Beam, it's absolutely great. They've got a pretty good number of utility spells as they exist out there. We'll run through each of those. They're weak against teams with multiple stuns. They don't have a ton of defenses. The burst damage is pretty straightforward, but still one of the best in the game. And there's not a lot of diversity in terms of who it is you're going to try to pair your Demon Hunter up with, but we'll continue to roll through it. As far as stats go, you're going to look to focus on agility, haste, critical strike as some of the biggest real elements. Obviously Metamorphosis here enhances all of your abilities, but double down on agility and haste. That's where you're going to get your major wins. There's also a couple builds out there that focus on crit. When it comes to azerite traits for different demon hunters, in PvP it's a little bit different than if you're a Havoc PvE player. You really want to double down on revolving blades. What that skill does, it allows you, or really increases the cleave damage you do. So you'll produce quite a bit, and that's actually why I've got it queued up as number 1. Blade Dance is my go-to in any kind of melee or large group. Dagger in the back and Laser Matrix also complement really well, so keep an eye open for those two as they exist. When it comes to the middle ring of azerite gear, definitely keep your eyes open and available for azerite globules, elemental whirl, and azerite veins. Azerite veins will keep you alive, but azerite globules are really what's going to be the difference maker in terms of getting your damage up over the top. And just before we leave that, around those outer rings, stack as much of that revolving blade skill set as possible. There aren't a lot of specs out there where you're looking to stack specific azerite traits, but Havoc is definitely one of them, so keep that in mind. The inner ring, it's all around survivability. The toss-up, if you get the option, is between Resounding Protection, which provides you with a really simple shield, as well as Burning Soul. So Burning Soul, a little bit different, but it actually takes your consumed magic, which is just really straightforward, to deal the beneficial magic effect from your opponent, and it actually provides you with an Absorb Shield as a result of successfully achieving that. Once that's complete, roll on down. We're going to touch quickly. You're going to focus on a couple different elements here. If you can get the Gladiator's Badge or Insignia, those are kind of the PvP trinkets you're looking for. If you're just starting off, go hit up the auction house, find Darkmoon Deck Fathoms. It's not a PvP item that you'll be able to pick up, but it will have a pretty good passive proc. It really helps with the sustained damage as well, so keep going with that. As far as my character goes, I'm running with a 378 Lion's Guile. Pick that one up through, I believe, a little bit of fun along the war fronts. So take those in if you can. Because Demon Hunters dual wield, so fucking double Warglaives there, you want to go with 2 different weapon enchants. One is around quick navigation, that enhances your haste. The second one is around versatile navigation, so that just doubles down and assists the amount of damage that you do. Now into our talent tree. We go with a couple different controls here. Blind Fury, really, as far as the traditional tree looks like, it's basically the best choice you can go with there. If you like being able to latch directly onto your competition, you can go with Fellblade as well. I'd jump between those. pretty interchangeably. As far as tier 2, this level 100 level, you've got a few options that you can look at. Demon Blades is usually one of the best choices. I actually just don't like the additional button it makes me have to press, so I'm trying to minimize that as much as possible. I like the more additional cleave damage and burst damage that comes with that immolation aura. You see me hit that there. So we'll continue on. Trial of Rune, we talked about that. That stacks up with what we're looking to achieve and really maximize our cleave damage. Down at the 104 levels, there's a couple ways you can go here. What I've gone with recently is Desperate Instincts. It makes your blur a fair bit stronger, and it makes it automatic once you drop below 35 health. And I know in Legion, Paladins had a similar ability. With the very few defensive abilities that Demon Hunters have, this was a go-to for me. Next up, First Blood. That's the best choice, almost hands down. Just reduces the Fury cost of Blade Dance, which is our most important spell, and works great with Trial of Rune, as we mentioned earlier. Level 108 is Master of the Glaive. Gives you a pretty reliable slow that you can use offensively to slow enemies kiting your damage, or defensively so that your teammates can kite the damage. So it just complements what we're looking to achieve all over. Really straightforward. And then for me, I really like Demonic. Anytime you use Eye Beams, you see me shift into my Metamorphosis body type. That's the way to go. Make those glaives work for you. In terms of PvP talents, you can go anyway. Last little bit I've been using Relentless because I was chatting with my wife, but really Gladiator's Medallion is the one that allows you to control when you get out of crowd control elements, so that's probably your quickest to go to. Then once you're past that, we actually have a few to go with. I always like Rain from Above. That was a lot of fun. Throws up into your demon form, and then you just cast down damage. You switch between several different enemies out there. I always thought that's one of the funner ones, but if you're really looking to max it out where you want to go, get Demonic Origins. It reduces your cooldown, or reduces the duration of Metamorphosis down from 30 seconds to 15, but the cooldown reduces from 4 minutes down to 2. So especially for any of your 3v3ers out there, if you know you're going to be in a bit of a sustained fight, this is a great way to go. After that, Mana Rift is a really good one. It passively, really kind of similar to what we experienced with Vengeance Demon Hunters, but drops Unending Hatred is the next one. Taking magical damage causes you to gain Fury with larger attacks, granting more Fury. So really straightforward. All about Fury generation. Makes the fight really easy for us. Next up, we usually go Solitude, so that increases Fury generation and attack speed by 10% whenever you're basically running solo. So really good. If you're playing with a ranged DPS, this is a must-have. Reverse Magic, so that's going to show up. It's going to remove all harmful magic effects from yourself and nearby allies within 10 yards and sends them back to the original caster. If you're playing against a team with a mage with Polymorph or paladin with Hammer of Justice, you should be using the talent. Kick out Solitude. This is your go-to in that state. And then finally, Cover of Darkness. So that increases the chance for you and your allies to avoid any damage while within darkness effect by 50%. It's really important against teams with 2 melee on it. You can imagine why. What we do there is we replace the Unending Hatred talent with it at that point in time. In terms of racials, if you want to be at a top end, you want to be playing Havoc as a Blood Elf. The extra buff removal of Arcane Torrent is fantastic. Night Elf is great if you're looking to avoid any kind of incoming crowd control. But if you're just a loyalist to the Alliance like me, then Night Elf it is. Before the gates open, really line up with whoever you're playing with. what is it that you're going to start with? Who's getting stunned? Because Demon Hunters really only have a few to work with. You're going to be looking at the Imprison, which can drop on a dummy. And then after that, it's the Chaos Nova, and that's kind of an AoE stun. That's basically what we've got to work with. What is a beneficial utility is when you turn on Spectral Sight. So before the fight starts, that'll show off any stealthed individuals, such as rogues, feral druids. You've got your different mages that all rely on that stealth to have an uninterrupted opener. Turn on that spectral vision and knock them down. Hit them with throw glaives. Really take advantage of your glaives. It slows the enemy down and allows you to take advantage of your incredible mobility to get there, track them down, chop them up. After that, really just rock with Fell Rush. If you want to go with the momentum build, if that's how you want to go in terms of a burster. If you're going for sustained, really it's focus on I-Beam, get that going as much as possible. Get your late demonic metamorphosis if you've got my kind of build going on. It's a lot of fun. Defensives to fall back to, we're actually pretty lean. So we've got our darkness overall. Like it says, just summons kind of this darkness cloud. Will defend you or any of your allies around you. 20% chance to avoid the damage, so not perfect. Specific solely to your Demon Hunter is Blur, so that increases your chance to dodge by 50% and all damage taken by 10%. So if you're in trouble, drop Blur and your odds of survival will massively improve. Netherwalk is another one, if you want to pull that up. If you don't want to go with Desperate Instincts, you can go with Netherwalk and slip into the Nether, increasing your movement speed by 100% and becoming immune to damage but unable to attack. So that's really if you're in big trouble. If you've got some healers with you, you really kind of want to strategize if that has any value. And then again, the one that I always love to tweak a little bit is Rain from Above. You're in a position here where you cannot be attacked. So get above and put that damage on these guys. A lot of fun there. In terms of compositions, the best team compositions for Havocs that exist out there, you can play with a lot. You can kite a lot of damage. You're not going to be focused right off the bat with a lot of different players. But as far as 2v2 goes, if you want to tweak or decide if you're playing with a priest or a shaman, you can play Solitude or Chaos Blades. If you want to go with a different healer or something like that, go with Momentum or Fell Barrage. You can rotate between any of those abilities. From a 2-on-2 standpoint, rock it with a priest, druid, monk, or shaman. Havocs have a lot of fun with all of those. And in 3v3, there's not a lot of change to 2v2. If you can, try to link up with an Arms Warrior, a Windwalker Monk, or an Affliction Warlock. They all complement the mobility and where it is we want to get to. Finally, if you want to go with more of a heroic cleave kind of build, go with the Havoc Demon Hunter, Frost Death Knight, and then either a Holy Paladin or a Resto Druid. There's a lot of damage that can be done in that kind of combo. That's it for this build, folks. Let me know, what do you think? Do you like Havoc? Are you having a lot of fun with it? It's tearing up the leaderboards right now, so let me know. Drop it down in the comments. I actually think I'm going to be spending a lot more time with it here, and I hope they continue with it looking strong. I think one of my big fears going into Battle for Azeroth was that Demon Hunters were going to take the beating that Death Knights did after Wrath, and that Blizz has done a great job of sustaining their usefulness and just how deadly they are in the PvP world. So that's it for now. Thanks again for watching, and we will see you guys soon. Drop it down in the comments and hit subscribe if you made it this far. Thanks for watching. Later.